Hello, my name is Jupiter Hadley, and today we're doing another version of Jupi Plays All the Games, this time for the Nanoreno 2016. The Nanoreno was a visual novel game jam. Basically, developers were challenged to make a visual novel from start to finish. It could be any genre, any style, just had to be a visual novel. I'm playing all of the games entered for about a minute each, 10 per video. You can check out links to the individual games in the description. It'll just be a taste of the games, so you might want to check it out further. If you want to check me out, I'm in philosophy description, so take a look. Thank you very much for liking and commenting. At the end, I'll probably have an article of my favorites. We're playing the game Temperance. You are Morgan. You are raising one child, a 3-year-old girl, Temperance. At the moment, you are staying home with her. Your significant other, Casey, is away. Casey is on a 4-day burnout prevention program. This is day 3. You are alone with Tempe. I guess we call her Tempe. Today and tomorrow. Then Casey comes back. I wake up quite beat. Tempe didn't have a good night. She woke up twice, and it took me around 20 minutes to get her to fall asleep again. The first time was at 1 a.m. and I was able to fall asleep when she did. The second time, 3:30 a.m., when she finally fell asleep, I couldn't. It took me until around 6 to fall asleep, and now it's 8 and Tempe just woke up. She's mildly annoyed, so I must act. I give her a pacifier because I know that way she stays calm for the next 10 minutes, giving me some time to prepare her bottle without her screaming. Ah, babies. The bottle's ready and I think about today. I have some stuff to take care of. I need to go and buy groceries, and a friend of ours is giving us some used baby clothes of theirs. We can use those because Tempe is destroying everything she wears. She's a very lively child, which isn't the problem, frankly. It's her hissy fits. They're killing us, and we've been enduring them ever since spring. Now it's winter and there are no signs of them letting up. I even think they've gotten worse. Every day, easily 5 times, she throws those tantrums. It's so exhausting, and it never ends, and Casey and I have been talking about this. We saw our doctor, but she said it's normal and it will pass. But when? I'm so afraid with every passing day that Tempe will never stop having her fits. I mean, she's been doing it for almost a year now, 1/3 of her life. Maybe she'll get used to it, and then what? We plan on putting her to kindergarten in the summer, but it will never work if she's like this, and we don't even know what to do if the kindergarten doesn't work out. She's already late to kindergarten as it is, and if this continues, it has to end. It just has to. Kindergarten's 3-year-olds. I went to kindergarten when I was 6. And maybe today will be a good day. She looks so pretty now, calm, and I feel like it's going to be okay. Besides, in total, I probably got at least 5 hours of sleep, so that's not that bad. And maybe I can watch something in the evening when she falls asleep. Maybe a movie, even. I can make myself a smoothie and lay out some snacks nicely on a plate. It'd be so nice to have an evening like a normal person. It's time for breakfast. We sit at our kitchen table. Tempe is happy. She is eating her bread roll. Do you want more milk? I ask her, and she nods with her mouth full. She is so adorable, so pretty. She points at things endlessly, requesting some form of commentary or answer. Is the cheese yellow? Tempe cannot touch the knife. Look, the green plant. They are the same things over and over again, and I'm giving her pretty much the same response each time. It's lively at the table, but I don't mind. I sometimes imagine how it is to have a quiet breakfast. Actually, Casey is probably having one right now. Casey. I hope that it all goes well with the burnout prevention. I know Tempe is contributing to that a lot, but that's what the program's for, so that the 3 of us can make it work. We finish breakfast, and Tempe instinctively goes to the bathroom to get changed and brush her teeth. I am surprised at her today. I don't even have to prompt her. She picks the clothes from the options I laid out for her, and even lets me make sure she brushes properly. Oh, maybe she is like 6. So maybe she's been doing it. Well, she said a year, and a year is 1/3 of her life, so I felt like she was 3, but who knows. And so I finished brushing her teeth myself where she wasn't thorough enough. We kiss. It's a thing she started doing with Casey as a form of saying my breath is now super fresh. I now gather all our things and get the stroller ready. We'll go to the playground first and then go to pick up the clothes from our friend. I didn't have time to cook, so we'll go to a restaurant for lunch, and later I will have to buy groceries. We will probably be out for most of the day. Tempeh, come. We are going out now. I called her, knowing she's in her room where she went to while I was gathering all the things we needed today. Tempeh, I called, trying to convey slightly more authority in my voice this time. No, she tells me as I walk into a room where she's lying on the floor, peeking through a tunnel made of blocks. But we have to. We'll go to the playground and then meet Aunt Chloe. I want to play here, she responds determinedly. Her voice changes into a whine. I want to stay home. But sweetie, I want to stay home. Children. You give up a lot of yourself when you have children. They're quite difficult to have. This is kind of interesting. Raising a temperamental child. Next. Alright, we're playing Fantastic Backflip. I'm sorry that it says activate Windows. I'm working on it. And also when I loaded up this game, it gave me a couple of errors, so we'll see how it goes. There are some instances of censored swearing. The game also contains audio. Alright. We are rainbows painted over gasoline, white feathers that wither and die underneath footsteps, faintly fading patterns. And maybe we'll never meet again, but that one moment in the light looks beautiful enough, fleeting by some strange circus. Are you ready? I am nervous. Maybe if I crack my knuckles one more time, it'll help. Take a breath. Take a breath, Evelyn. Breathe. It makes me remember Coach's breathing exercise right before she'd send us off to win the day. I clench my fist. I'm not wearing boxing gloves anymore, but today I wear determination. I look at my watch. It's exactly 9 p.m. Showtime. Let's go. I like how there's sign language in this. Oh, my sock's really cute as well. They're staring, mostly at me, but at Miss Dexter too. For me, this is normal, but I can't help wonder if I'm late. One girl in particular is getting on my nerves. She keeps pointing at Miss Dexter's cane, whispering and giggling. Oh, it looks like she had some head injury at one point.
How to rectify this?
It's reading to me. Give the girl some lip. Just get past her. Let's give her some lip. I tilt my chin up, walk forward. The girl doesn't even notice. She's still whispering to the person next to her. I can hear some nasty things leaving her mouth. She's so focused I can lean to her ear without getting her attention. I smile and speak.
Is there a problem here?
She jumps, whips her head around, her eyes widen, and I lean back, drinking in her shame. As I do so, I notice the signs on 2 seats further down the row. Reserved for Evelyn Gray and guest. Given this crowd, they've probably the only seats left. I wave over Miss Dexter and point to the seats. She nods and gives me a pat on the back before making her way over to it. The girl is completely silent as Miss Dexter walks past, and I grin.
Gray! Gray!
DJ Man is running up to me. Before I can react, he grabs me by the shoulders, and I'm hustled towards the backstage area.
Where have you been?
The words are not spoken, but hissed in my direction. Garlic breath slips between his teeth, and spittle lands on my cheek.
You're up next.
Late after all, I think to myself, a bit worried, but I stare at him, giving nothing but the silent treatment for a few seconds.
Stop touching me.
I like her voice. We've reached backstage now, and DJ Man stops. And then he seems to remember who I am and lets go, putting his arm back at his side.
Punk.
He mutters under his breath, glaring at me. I give him nothing, which seems to tick him off, but he just shakes his head and opens his mouth to speak.
Remember, 20 seconds to establish yourself. When 20 seconds are up, you'll hear a bell. 2 minutes to dance. Got it?
Got it, Chief.
Right.
He nods, walks away, only a few more seconds to wait, and then, next up, Gray. Time to go. I walk to the center of the stage. Everyone is watching me. The crowd murmurs, some watching me in silence, some whispering to their friends. I can't stand it. I need to break the tension.
What's good, Dana Wayne University?
My voice echoes around the room. All eyes stare at me. They're waiting for what I'm going to do next. Do a flip. All right, you can do this. Get ready, go. You run forward and jump. The world blurs as I turn in the air before finally landing on my feet.
Woo! Yeah!
One person claps. I know it's Miss Dexter. The bell rings. That didn't seem like 20 seconds to me, and the DJ man speaks.
Your establishment time is complete. Now it's time to dance.
So not a great start. Get ready. Sounds pour out of the speakers. Music enters the room. I freeze. This isn't Donna and the Pains, though it is painful. Some electronic track. I don't know. Not sure what song or what genre, but I do know this. This is not Green Tree. Someone switched my track out. There's laughter coming from somewhere. Where? Who? No time to find out. I stretch my arms. This is it. I rock to the beat, let the music flow through me. The beat is loud, a strong heartbeat of a drum. I'm starting to get the hang of it. Don't push yourself. Let's not push yourself. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, one hand out, one hand in. I dance safely with coordinated passion, careful to keep track of where the music is heading. Really wish Green Tree was playing instead.
Oh, Green Tree had so much hope for you and me. Sad to see your heart ain't filled with glee. I thought that we had something. Turns out that there's nothing under this green tree.
That was really nice. I like the different audio cues in the story. It's quite nice to hear different voices narrate and to hear that girl sing. She's got a beautiful voice. I also like the different little pictures. Everything was really well done and well drawn. It's an interesting little thing to be enjoying. And I kind of want to know more about the main character as well and her friend and how her friend got a cane and why she had to speak sign language. But it was really interesting. It was really nice. Really nicely made and put out. Next. We're playing Technicians in Space. Knock, knock. You may come in. Chief, present. Thank you, Technitional Sirtok. I suppose you're wondering why I've called you here today. It's been brought to my attention that your appearance has not been up to code. And how can it be said that I run a tight ship if my crew are not professionally presented? Professionally? My hair's tied back, ma'am. So is this us or them? Because I can't see her hair. But she looks professional to me. I am Chief Yalmaz, and you do not talk back to me. That may have been acceptable in your previous unit, but you are now under my command. But ma'am, you address me as Chief? Yes, Sagot. I hope I said your name right. I know I'm not, though. I'm sorry, I'm a new transfer. Did your transfer not contain the most recent regulations? I've not yet had a chance to look at the new. You are a professional, and professionals read all important documents. These are the regulation haircuts. Approved, unacceptable. All right. As you can see, they keep hair out of the way of important duties. And by out of the way, the most important function is to minimize free strands of hair. While all teams use standard protocol H spray before working, the most effective way to reduce loose hairs is through maintaining a regulation style. Do you know why it's so important we keep our hair to regulation? The Zamafek incident. Zamafek? You have an appalling lack of knowledge. When was your training? 5 Earth years ago, Chief. Well, you may not have been formally taught. It is on your own head that you have not kept up to date, especially on such important matters. I'm sorry, be quiet. Do you really need to be taught about this? Yes, Chief. 4 years ago, a team of technicians in the Eastern Fifth were working on routine maintenance of the drive plate on the USS Zamafek. While their optical standards were otherwise perfect, the lead technician happened to have his long hair in a simple ponytail. From the remaining footage, we could tell that a single strand of hair fell into the driver. His long strand wrapped itself around the optics and diffracted the light out. And what can happen when an optical drive has the light diffracted? The hair could easily cause a Faraday rotor to fail. Precisely, and the optical isolator led to a laser cavity fault, and this overload and subsequent failure of the drive plate set off a series of explosions, resulting in casualties and fatalities, including the lives of the technicians involved. After a series of subsequent experiments, it was determined that most types of hair in technical ratings, those of a 3C curl rating and below, must be kept shorter than 2 inches or otherwise firmly secured. Hair as straight and as long as yours represents a significant danger to yourself and the crew and will not be permitted. I understand, Chief. Splendid. When I next see you, I expect you will be up to standard. Chief, yes, Chief. Oh, that's them. Oh, my days. I know, right? How the hell did she get off so easy? I have no idea. Chief Yelmez is usually way more strict than that. Maybe she's going to get that promotion. Where does the head of the technicians go? Captain? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think Mel knows? Maybe. They're in the cafe, right? Yeah, and I bet they're messing with something. Again. I'll wager $10 pounds. It blows up in his face. You're on. Hey, careful with that. You don't want to have an accident. Hey, Mel, if you're gonna do that, careful with the motor. It burns out easy. Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah, I know. I upgraded it last night. Really? Yeah, it should be fine. Mel, you're such a dum-dum. Screw you too, Effie. Toya, you money? Fine, I'll transfer it. Toya? Oh yeah, check my profile. Not Cassandra anymore. Ah, I thought that really suited you. She's totally going to have to decide on a different name next week. At least I keep my profile consistent, unlike you, Mel. My profile is amazing. I still don't know how you get away with that. I tried putting smiley faces on my profile, and they were all gone by the next day. I think I remember that. Let me add a few. Yeah, but I bet you those will be retorted next time we check. That reminds me, we've got to go in to see the chief soon. We're going off ship. Oh, so I think I need to be more strict. This is quite interesting. I wonder what they're all doing in space. It looks like a pretty luxury space place. There's some nice couches and everything. Their faces are quite striking. And their little outfits. I don't know, it looks quite interesting. Playing around in space. I feel like I need to be stricter, though. More, mean and boss-like. Next. We're playing Milling About at Tirel's party. The day has finally come. Tirel's weekly house party is tonight, and this time, you're actually in town. You arrive. Fashionably early, fashionably late. Let's do right on time. Tirel greets you as you come in. Welcome, old friend. I'm glad you could make it. Your reputation for punctuality must have been well earned. I have business to attend to, so I can't stay and chat for very long. I hope you enjoy the party. The regulars have been dying to meet you. And with that, he leaves you to navigate the sea of people. You decide to head to the far end, out the front door. Let's do refreshments. You decide to investigate the punch bowl. A lady in a long sweater and shirt is standing there. Hello, I'm Charlotte. Pleased to meet you. A quick question. If you had to live in any historical time period and place, when would you choose? Portugal during the age of exploration, people doing grand things back then. The 1960s in America, people were striving to make the country better. The French Revolution, where there were so many interesting people. I wouldn't. The present is the most accepting time. Let's do Portugal. An explorer, eh? A doer of grand deeds? Outstanding. Well, I'd love to chat, but I have some things to do. I have someone I'd like to meet here. I hope to talk to you again soon. Everyone's so busy at this party. The clock strikes 10. Where to next? Far into the room. A lady in a long flowy dress is there, looking around dreamily. Hello there, I'm Karen. It's a pleasure. The pleasure is all mine. How polite. You stand in silence for a bit, then, what do you tend to dream about? All these are really, weird personal questions, I guess. Who I'm going to be, who I might be, anything but I rarely dream about anything but my friends, things, strange things I never remember. It's a rather personal question. Let's do strange things. Sounds exciting. Awkward. She wanders off towards the punch bowl. I should have asked the same question back. A clock strikes 11. Where to next? Deeper into the crowd. You wander out into the middle of the room. An older gentleman with killer mutton chops is standing around over here. Howdy there, pal. I'm Ezra, Tirel's older brother. Nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you, too. So tell me what brings you to this neck of the woods. I need to get out of the house. I wanted to meet new people. Fair enough, we could all use some more pals. Anyways, you seem like you think a lot, so here's a question for you. What do you think is the most important for someone to know? Wait, let me guess. You think someone should know what they need to do. Yes, that's about right. Alright, thanks. Well, it was nice talking to you, but I think this party's just about over. See you around. Clock strikes 12. Attention, everyone. The party is now over. Thank you all for coming. The party crowd slowly thins out. You decide to leave. Someone walks up to you. Hello again. I just wanted to thank you for coming today. You've been quite the social butterfly. I know scheduling is tough for you. I just wanted to say that. I hope you can make it next week. That was a fancy party. He turns and walks back to his house. You look at Tirel's house for a while before you turn on your heel and walk home. Normal end. Oh, so I didn't do anything cool. I just met all the characters. This seems quite interesting. I like the look of the characters. I like how they were each a different color. I found their questions quite interesting. Next. We're playing The Doll and the Spider. The night was still, the sky dark due to the new moon. The only sound came from a dirty doll, abandoned in the backyard of a 2-story house. It laid there, quietly muttering to itself of its woe. This is the absolute worst situation. Why did this have to happen? Carolyn, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to slip from your grip. Do not be afraid, though. I will be there. Somehow I will find my way to you. Curse my limbs. If only I had the gift of movement. This is so unladylike. And here I am talking to myself. So embarrassing. There was a sudden rustle in the grass, startling the doll. She became silent, her button eyes trying to spot the source. What was that? The rustling grew louder, drawing closer to her location. It is not yet the hour of the witch. I hope it's not another skunk. It was outside her field of vision, the blades of grass dancing back and forth above her still head. Whoever is there, would you please stop with the hiding and noise? I am a doll. It is not as if I can run or attack. A fuzzy leg came through the blades of grass, others following it. Slowly a tarantula crawled forward, blinking its many eyes at the dirty doll. Oh, I recognize you. You're the missing pet, are you not? Myself? A pet of that boy? All he has fed me were crickets. I deserve a far more worthy meal. I was lucky he forgot to fully close the tank. So you did run away. Such a shame. The house is far warmer, and could you not just hunt the spiders hiding within? Surely they are not a match for you. Of course they'd be no match for me. I am a tarantula. However, I'm no cannibal. I prefer a good frog or mouse, maybe a baby bird if I'm lucky enough. Besides, little doll, I'm returning to the house. I just needed a good hunt. You are returning to the house? The tarantula turned away from the doll, taking a few steps towards the house. That is correct. Now if you'll excuse me, doll. Wait, would you please take me with you? My little girl's dropped me, and I must return to her side post haste. He turned slightly towards her, fangs shifting. Why are you trying to speak all fancy? You're just an old ragged doll. I was made by her grandmother. 'Tis a habit of mine. I cannot help it. Also, I am not just an old raggedy doll. I am a family heirloom, and here I am laying in the dirt. So humiliating. Heirloom or not, you're a doll, and you're cuckoo if you think I'm taking you with me. But you must. My little girl needs me. To sit in a plastic chair while she pretends to eat. I'm not wasting my strength trying to carry a doll. Surely you joke. I am to be at her side this instant. Well, there is still time. I must be there before the witching hour. The witching hour? The witching hour, the time of the devil, the time when those creatures are free to roam and do as they please. I am the only protection she has against them. Caroline cannot survive the night without me. The tarantula burst out laughing, legs tapping in amusement. Why are you laughing over such an important matter? You're a deranged doll. Witch? Devil? Ha! The only scary things out there are scorpions. Which reminds me, I need to get going. I'd rather not run into one of those nasty things. So you do not believe me? The tarantula lifted its upper body, posing as if to intimidate her. Of course I don't. Heck, I'm the scariest thing around, according to the little girl inside. Her name is Carolyn. Yeah, her. Only thing she needs to be scared of is me, and I'm not going to harm her. I'm saving my venom for food. If I had proof, would you believe me and take me with you? He returned to a more relaxed position, sighing tiredly. Dolly, you're getting on my nerves. I'd rather not waste my barbs on you. Would you believe me, Sir Spider? All right, let's say there are monsters scarier than me and scorpions. How come I've never seen them? I can show you. Just do as I say. Walk on over to me and simply touch me. I want you to look at the back door. I want you to look at the back door of the house. Will you stop bugging me after that? Yes, Sir Spider. Now please do as I say. The tarantula scuttled over, lightly placing one of its legs on the doll's arm. Here, what did I say? Now you can go. Do you look at the back door? Yes, what is that? The tarantula scuttled back, fangs twitching. Huh? I swear I just saw... Touch me again, and this time be still. Slowly, the tarantula placed its leg back on the doll. He flinched when the image returned. Looks creepy. There were over a dozen figures standing in front of the door, bodies covered with black goop that dripped from their hair and fingers. They all had different forms, some resembling human beings. One in particular had its neck broken, head resting upside down on its back. Its eyes were milky white, pus dripping out. There were others that lynched into the walls, peering through the windows. One was sniffing the glass with its anteater-like snout, eyes twitching in opposite directions. Another was thumping its bony tail, voice lifting as if singing a lullaby, despite having no mouth. The others there were countless others, tarantulas, 8 eyes, unable to keep focused. Those creatures there, that is what I protect Caroline from every night. Once the witching hour is upon us, they will be able to enter the house. Without me, Caroline will... Please, Sir Spider, I need your help. I'm unable to move, so I'm stuck here. Please. The tarantula remained still, watching the figures that stood at the back door, listening to the scratchy sounds coming from their throats, some of their arm limbs at their sides while others clawed at the door. He always heard the scary stories about monsters under the bed or in the closet, but this was different. The boy, who protects him. Just like I protect Caroline, his bear protects him. And their parents? Once humans hit their teen years, depending on certain details, their auras will grow strong enough to protect them, at least as long as they do not believe in ghosts and the like. Okay, you lost me there, Dolly. I apologize, Sir Spider. You know how there are humans that do not believe in spirits, monsters, and so on? Of course I do, or did. He tried to keep his back legs down, knowing that his barbs would be useless against the things that prawned at the house. The one that drew most of his attention was the crouching creature on the porch, pinchers whacking the others aside when it was stepped on. There was an aura that surrounds them, making them unable to see or sense them. It is usually passed down through the family, which creates a shield around the entire dwelling. The reason the creatures aren't able to enter now is because of the parents. He remained quiet for a while, trying to process what the doll told him. He ended up tapping his fangs against each other, annoyed. This voodoo crap is confusing. It is. This seems like a really scary, interesting story. I really want the doll to make it back home, but it might not be able to, especially since they're doing all this talking. It's quite interesting, the witching hour. Next. We're playing La Coursiere, which is French for the shuttle race. Walk normally and try not to mind your surroundings. You can do this. Go now. Go. Alright. Looks like I'm running. I don't think anyone saw you. This is good. Now go left. Don't run unless I tell you to. You must not stand out. Still looks like I'm running. Or everything's just a blur. La Coursiere. They know your approximate location now. You must be inconspicuous. There's like no one else in these pictures though. They're not gonna think of anyone else. They will not catch us, I promise. Go straight now. Using the trees will do you good service. Concept for directed by Mikey. Go left now. Try not to run a red light. Oh, am I in a car? No, I can't be in a car because I went to the trees. This area is more open. Look for groups of people to blend in. There's no people in any of these photos. One of them is on a parallel street to your right. But keep walking, this isn't a problem. No danger now, you can walk quicker. The quicker we do this, the smaller their chance. Go right now. We'll be exposed for a while. Was just looking around. Focus on the path. Have nothing but the path in your field of vision. Try not to look to the left. The space is wide open. There is bound to be some of them lurking. Unfortunately, I do not know the locations of all of them. It's alright, just walk on. Now you can look around like a tourist until you leave this square. This is where we are the safest. Streets like these. Left now. Oh, that looks like a bad guy. Sort of. Nope, just kidding. Coming up to the river, be prepared to change pace often. This will be the most dangerous part, but if we keep them guessing, they may be too late. Alright, down, go down. I don't like these blurred pictures, they're like hurting my head. There's nothing like focus on, really. Just so you know, my name is Remy. I know it doesn't matter, but... No one in line of sight. You can run now. Run. Take the path along the river. Down again. There are 2 of them on the other side, but they don't have line of sight. Everything is good. Alright, slow down. Up the stairs. Walk. Straight across. Continue straight. We can do this. If we succeed, they will all know your name. You will be a hero. There is a park ahead, open space. Be careful. You are doing so well. I know you can do this. You are the one. What the? There's one right above you. Move near the wall, but don't stop. He's walking behind you, but doesn't... No, yes, no. He doesn't realize. Keep walking, keep walking. Prepare to run. Run now, fast. Run right. Another right, and you can run now. Run. This is so stupid. Why? Oh, sorry, never mind that. We're good, but save your energy now. Walk. This is quite a mysterious game. I like the fact they went through the effort to take all these pictures to include. I don't like that they're blurred because I can't really see what's going on. It just kind of hurts my head. It's quite interesting. I want to know who we're running with and why we're trusting this guy and who he is and what's going on. And I feel like I won't find out until the very end unless this guy slips up and tells me stuff, which he's starting to do. But who knows? I think I need to focus on just getting out of here. Next. We're playing a game simply called Nanoreno Demo. It's the first time this person's made a Twine game. Light filters in through the open window and onto my face. The blanket does nothing to provide shade, but it's not like I could go back to sleep after I've woken up anyway. Get ready. Open to let cool air in with a net to keep bugs out. A very persistent grasshopper has been there since last night, attempting to fit through the tiny holes without success. I'd prefer not to have a huge green bug in my room, but I can't help but admire its tendency. You can do it, bug. Blanket. Thin and white with a small flowery pattern. I think it used to be my grandma's. It has worn out over time and doesn't hold heat, which makes it perfect for keeping cool in the ridiculous humidity of Korea. It's a small nation state on the border between Yesvor and Frolia, basically 62 square miles of prairie land, but with less water and more snakes. So maybe a savanna? I don't know. Anyway, it's always hot. The closest city is in a different country. 1 out of 5 stars doesn't even have electricity half of the time. Nice. Get ready. I have a good 30 minutes after waking up before I have to start walking to the bus stop to be there on time. Look at the mirror. Dark brown hair, black eyes, drool stuck to my face. That's me, all right. Dora the Explorer looking ass bitch. I'd better put my hair up so it won't stick to my neck all day. To be honest, I'd rather just cut it all off, but I don't really know if that would look okay. Done brushing. I have a good 30 minutes after waking up before I have to start walking to the bus stop to be there on time. Pack school bag. Pen, paper, worn-out copy of La Mara Fee in my workbooks. I don't actually do the homework, but there should be time to do it. I didn't actually do the homework, but there should be time to finish it before class actually starts unless I'm late. The bag itself is heavier than anything in it, but that's part of the school dress code. Make some breakfast. Our house doesn't really have any kitchen appliances besides the stove, which takes forever to start up without the lighter, and the fridge, a box we fill with ice because the electricity is too spotty for a real one. And I've learned how to use the gas heater that Dad won in a bet to cook if I take off the back panel and put it on its side. It's probably a fire hazard, but I should be okay as long as I move it outside first. It's not like we even need a heater anyway, so it sits outside, and it uses its propane tank to help me make an omelet. Today's breakfast was cheese, tomato, and spinach along with some green onions that the spinach was sitting on. A little bit of shell fell in, and I couldn't find the Tabasco, but otherwise it was good. Saved leftovers. I better leave. The bus stop is kind of out of the way because houses are scattered so far apart to make room for the old rice paddies, orchards, and other fields of crops. My mom says that everyone just grew their own food when she was a kid, but during the occupation, the soldiers burnt fields and poured salt in the ground, although the dirt underneath our house is mostly clay, so I doubt much grew before anyway. The view is nice. I don't want to talk about it, so she doesn't want to talk about the occupation. The bus will be here soon. The road is bumpy as the small bus treks over uneven ground. There is a road right there, but the driver is hell-bent on finding a shortcut. Mr. Cosmo. He's also known as Nichols to his friends, Gramps to his customer, and Mr. Anderson Fella to himself. He drives with one hand on the side of the bus and the other on the steering wheel. He very rarely looks at the road and plays foreign music loudly over the radio. Sometimes he sings along. He isn't from here, but I don't know where he is from. I don't think the music is from his home country because he kind of guesses the sounds, but maybe he is just not good at remembering the words. I'll make a patient on it, then the bus will boom. Haha, you'll get to say you knew me before I got big. 'Tis a real honor, as I tell you, he says loudly for everyone in the bus to hear. So basically just me and some sleeping guy in the back. Are we there yet? The school is a one-room building serving as a classroom. There are about 20 desks spaced out, but I've never seen more than 16 students at the time. There's a blackboard at the front behind the teacher's desk, and the door is across from it. It's hard to sneak in late because of the direct line of sight, but the teachers don't care enough to take roll half of the time, so it doesn't really matter. We have to wear a school uniform, even though it gets really hot. Really hot on summer days like today. It's a white short-sleeved shirt with a pin of Frola's King over the heart. Mid-calf length black skirt, black stockings. We can get away with just socks if you can't really see the skin. And we are allowed to wear whatever shoes we have. They must have realized that making us buy new saddle shoes is somewhat impossible because A, some kids don't even have shoes, B, we're borrowing the uniforms for a different school, and C, just give us the one thing. It's not like there are any strangers around to ogle or something stupid like that. A lot of the other girls just wear shorts underneath their skirts and try to discreetly pull it off until they have to stand up and read or go to the board. Marini is here. As soon as I glance her way, she rushes over with a friendly smile and outstretched hand. Yaka, let me see your workbook. Classic Marnie. No. Come on, please, just this one time. You said that last time, and no. Why are you so stingy? I didn't do the homework either, but I don't really feel like telling her. Instead, I just pass it over, and she goes back to her desk so she can copy my blank answers. I don't actually like Marnie all that much. I don't dislike her either, but I wish she would leave me alone. The only time she ever talks to me is asking for something. Hey, seems she's realized it's blank. She hits me lightly on the head with my workbook. Why didn't you just say you didn't do it? She laughs before walking away to another student who just came in, probably to ask the same question she asked me. This seems very well written. It's very good for a first Twine game. I find it interesting, the little world that they live in, and they've portrayed that quite well in the story. Next. We're playing the game Virtuous. She still talks to us sometimes, not often, nowhere near enough, but what could we expect, given what we did to her? We're getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we? We do that a lot. I guess that's why we were never anyone's first choice when they needed magical girls. Our investigations ended before they began. Maybe it's 'cause we had shit elements. Whoever heard of a power like snow? But it was summer then. It was the height of youth. It was the death of us. Grace, we've got a mission. It was our biggest yet. Something to do with animal rights activists. All the other teams turned them down. Typical vegans. But we had no principles. We were delighted to have something. We do? Of course we do. Come on, Grace, give us the deets. There's a research facility in Cumbria, something to do with cats and dogs. Someone stole one of their animals and they want us to track it down. What are they doing with cats and dogs? Grace, I didn't I didn't ask. Are you sure we should be doing this? Charity. I'm sure it's fine. Great, thanks. Charity always cared too much. About everything. Well, why did they pick us? Well, all the other girls turned them down. Of course. Who do you side with, Grace and Faith or Charity and Will? I don't know. Well, it's our first. We don't know what they're doing. I feel like I need more information to make this decision. Let's go with Charity. Will was so determined, he argued any argument until it was over and beyond. He'd win anything, even if he didn't believe it. Look, we need a job, and this is the only one that's come our way. You know what it means if we go 3 months without a job? Of course I do. So we'll take the job, but we'll make sure that we look out for wrongdoing. And if needed, we'll correct it. Good, great. Shall we go? Virtuous. At the facility. This is not what we expected. Really not what we expected. I thought you said it was a research facility. I thought it was a research facility. If this is a research facility, it was like no research facility any of us had seen before. Not that we'd seen many research facilities. Well, I'm sure it'll be great. There are monks everywhere. They are within the pews, around the floor, running up and down staircases. One hurries up to us. He is dressed in Pentecostal robes, even though it is long past petticoat season. We think it might be sacrilegious, though we don't like to use that word. Children. I didn't realize there'd be so many of you. Only 2 of you can come with me to the briefing. It's a small area. The 2 of us shoot up before he can think. They've always been ones for uncharted territory. All right, hope and faith, hope and will. Let's do hope and faith. The priest accepts our offering. He tells us to follow him, and we do so willingly. The door slams as we climb up the staircase. For the first time, we regret our decision. Our decision to come to this research facility, church, whatever they call it. You girls okay with these steps? There's a lot of them, I know. We're okay. He flings open the doors to a large room in the steeple. He looks excited. We're sure that whatever's inside can't be good. We enter anyway. Inside is a hall illuminated by insect-filled mason jars. There is God all around us. Our museum, as it is. Would you like one of Judas Incourt's teeth? He dangles a string of teeth in front of Grace. No. Not a fan of traitors. Pay it no mind. We have other relics around. Well, here's the foreskin of Jesus, as gifted to Catherine of Siena. A feather of a peacock that guided Saint Libris Candever to the graveyard. Keep it. It'll protect you against disease. We keep it just in case. Feel free to look around. Let's look around. On the further side of the room, there are relics mounted behind a glass, a splinter of wood, a foreskin, and a thorn. A splinter of wood, a splinter of the true cross. So I can take one thing. I don't want to look at Jesus' foreskin. That's weird. To the west, there are 5 objects placed on table. A peacock feather. I can take all of this stuff. I don't want to steal everything. This seems quite interesting. I want to know what they're doing with dogs and cats, though, and why and how we can help, really. Next. That last game was actually the last game I'm going to be able to play in the jam. There were a couple of others, but they didn't have a link or a download way to play it, and one game was missing a data file, so it wouldn't run. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed taking a little peek at all of these Nanoreno novels. That's it. Bye.